What are you doing?
Oh, well, the devotional I read this week says that people often wear images of the way they want to be seen by other people on their arms like bandages. So they want people to see their appearance, their education, their success, their job, how much money they have, um, to build an image of themselves that seems real. It's like we won't be seen at all unless we cover ourselves with the images that we create rather than allowing ourselves to be seen as the people that God created. Um, the trouble is that if I don't remove the images that I create at the right time and in the right way, I can get stuck, trapped, even addicted. And the name we usually call that is sin.
Hmm. Well, sometimes I think I do that too, because I want people to see me as a nice person. And that reminds me of when we were watching that Mr. Rogers movie this week. He never seemed to try to make people think he was something that he wasn't. His wife said that he had to work really, really hard all the time to do that, and it just looked like it was so easy for him.
I agree. He always looked like he was the person that God intended him to be. I saw this week that a city in Louisiana has decided to prevent evacuees from areas that were destroyed by the hurricane from coming to settle in their city while their lives are rebuilt in their hometowns.
Mm.
The city that's telling them they can't come says that's not really who the people there are. They really want to be of help to their neighbors, but they just aren't prepared to deal with outsiders who might cause trouble. Um, Imagine saying to people who've lost their homes that you really want to be of help and you know they really need your help, but it's just more trouble than it's worth to you.
Yeah. Well, they had a young black man that was killed by police there a couple of weeks ago. And I think that they're afraid of possible protests and violence. So maybe they've told the charities and the churches that they're not allowed to bring evacuees into town. And even many of the pastors are afraid of what might happen.
That's too bad. You watched last week's children's moment,
I
didn't you?
did, yes.
Okay.
It was wonderful.
You know, what if those same names that we're afraid of could be changed into things with positive meanings, like this? What if I saw this name, instead of thinking of that rascally troublemaker, what if I thought, Bart, that's the young boy who comes around to his neighbors and offers to help pick up tree limbs and storm debris?
That would be good. Or maybe Katrina could be someone who takes her cell phone to her displaced neighbors to use to reach their families.
And maybe Benedict could be the teenage boy who walks around the neighborhood and helps to locate missing pets after the storm.
Yeah, and Laura could be, guess what? A retired teacher who takes books and snacks to have story time with children in their yards as their parents clean up damage to the house and property.
Ah, well, how about Jessie Bell? She could be the woman whose family has a generator, and she could make sure that everyone on her street who's without power knows that she'll have a hot meal ready for their family every day until the power comes back on. Imagine all those things. One act of love could change people's negative associations to positive ones. And one act of love on our part could change the way we see ourselves from needing to create the image that we think we want people to see to actually taking those images off and allowing ourselves to be the person that God created us to be.
Ah.
You know, it's a great blessing to be a neighbor. And I think Mr. Rogers has a song that will help us think prayerfully about being a neighbor in times like these. Have you got your guitar?
I think I do.
Okay, well, let's sing it. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Could you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?